least
Talk about Nelson right now while he's distracted.
I'm waiting for the sound. I'm waiting for the sound, and I'm waiting for it to show up. There.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nelson Buck. I have a severely bad cold. If you, this is not nice. There. Sorry. Hello, everybody. My name is Nelson Buck. This is the Mardock's Daily Life Show, a chat. We do this show every day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific. And if you're anywhere near Berlin and that kind of area of the world, then go with John saying it's at 9 p.m. I don't know what the topic is today because I literally, at 2:30, this went off and made my sound saying, you have your live chat. And I went, oh. And I kind of like jumped out of bed and went, okay, zombie pills, coffee. I'm taking that Advil cold Citus for my face right now. So I was like, oh. I feel dead.
So you finally relented and took something, huh?
Yeah, that's it. The whole
Yeah, it comes to a point where we have no choice,
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get in the mood here. There. Now I look like I feel. Fabi, you have an event coming up. Am I correct?
Oh.
Or did it already come up?
I'm trying to think. I have a lot of events coming up.
Well, the one that you posted.
Oh, yeah, that one was earlier today. It was the first live session of the Transforming Capitalism Lab through MIT.
Yeah.
And they launched it. And the first live session was this morning, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it went well.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it on the screen. I'm putting it on the screen as we speak. Can you give us some highlights about it, or?
Absolutely. So, let's see. I guess. They're figuring out that we have to transform our system, our economies, and how we do economics.
Oh, now you said that. Josh is all going to be all up in this.
Yes.
I'm waiting to hear.
And what's beautiful about it is that they're understanding the power of networks and the power of the old traditional thoughts in economics that they're still teaching in universities today, are so old and we haven't changed those theories and updated them to reflect the times we're in now with technology and connectivity and everything. And so that was the beauty of what they present on. And there's some amazing things happening. It's a community. They have, I think they're connected into last I heard, it was like 30,000 people around the world that takes this class. It's free. It's online. You can always catch the recorded versions of anything that they put out there.
It's Coursera.
Yeah, it's centered around a course. I mean, you can apply for their certificate and pay a fee and you get the certificate.
Yeah, probably it's Coursera or one of those companies, I'm guessing.
Yeah, edX is one of the
yeah.
There you go.
But then if you don't want the certificate,
do you guys want to see what we do? Here's what John does when he's in class and he's got his students and they talk across the lane. Mr. Brewer, what's so important that you can't talk to the rest of the class about?
I was discussing things with my lovely wife.
Okay, then go back to it. Then I don't want to bother her.
I thought you were going to bring her on, man. You also just have it on here.
Have you ever had to do that, John, where you're in class, you have to tell two students, can you guys tell us what you're talking about? You're over there leaning over at you.
Not directly that way, but there are moments when I just kind of look at them.
It's like, you must be more important than me.
Well, you start talking German and sit there and tell them to shut up.
I have requested that my beautiful wife come on, but so far she keeps refusing.
Oh no, she has to come on. She's gorgeous. I saw a photo where she's gorgeous. I've been going through all my stuff, and I don't know how I have it. That's not a weird thing. I have a picture of Miss Tina from 1975, a year after I was born. This is what my wife looked like in 1975. There you go. And I was going through my stuff. I found this, and I saw the inscription on the back, and I said to myself, oh, wow. Of all the stuff, of all the bins I had to go through, and I found this one photo of her, yeah, that's got to be a sign. that and the frying pan coming at me the other day. Oops, I lost the code. I lost the code. I lost it. I can't
Yeah,
remember what
where'd
it-
Nigel go? He disappeared.
Yeah, Nigel's writing my ass right now, trying to get me to join this program. I'm supposed to get back to him and tell him whether or not my wife was interested in running the program
What?
behind the scenes. What?
What program is it exactly?
iPro Networks.
Oh yeah.
But I want to get involved in it, but like we do with Mardox, I try not to get involved in too many things that we talk about and want to push, because otherwise it's like, of course I'm going to say good things about it, but if I'm not myself signed up to it, I can say what I want to it, right? And
Yes.
they get the hint about that, but these business owners they get a real bad taste in their mouth when they come across a person like me and say, "You're missing out on a piece of the pie if you're not going to join up." And yeah, I'm missing out on a piece of the pie, but I like the fact that I can tell people, yes, go with this, or no, don't go with this, because, there's that unbiased relationship between myself and who I'm representing. I don't mind if people around me sign up to these programs and make money, go for it, I like the fact that I can say, go sign up to this program, and I'm not personally signed up to it,
Yeah.
It sounds
I think the problem sometimes also is that marketers and program owners and stuff, they push a little bit too much, I mean,
Yeah.
you tell us about it, check it out, and kind of leave it at that,
Yeah.
Maybe if the person had in a few weeks or so, hey, did you think of whatever, but don't push and don't be like, oh yeah, you're missing out on this other thing.
Well, they're not pushing too hard right now. Their concept. I did tell them I was going to get a response back, and I didn't because I felt sick, and I've been sleeping for the last. Yesterday's show, my daughter, turns out, apparently was by mistake. She was uploading video files to the internet while we're trying to do our live stream. So the internet for me just crashed. My computer just wouldn't connect to anything anymore, so I just killed the show. And I went upstairs. I went, oh, and I said, "Are you doing anything, uploading or anything?" She goes, "Oh yeah, my Dropbox is synchronized." I'm like, "I'm going to bed. It's either that or it was going to be a homicide." And I called my dad. I called my dad back. She goes, "She's uploading files." So I went to bed, and I just woke up at 2:30 just now. So,
What did you dream about, Nelson?
huh?
What'd you dream about?
Nothing at all, actually. Really, when I get sick like this, I get really weird dreams. Really, like repetitive stuff, because I don't know. It's like a car that won't get out of the ditch, and I'll go behind it, and I try to push the car out of the ditch. But then when I'm done pushing the car out of the ditch, I turn around, it's suddenly right back where it was. So I go back and push it back out again, and it's back.
I thought you were dreaming about getting out of the doghouse again.
No, I'm out of the doghouse. I didn't go in the doghouse this time.
Okay.
I didn't go in the doghouse this time because they're afraid of what I'm going to do to the doghouse by going in it this time. It ain't my fault. I did apologize. I am the better person. I did apologize. And I got the rest of the world right now going, "What are you apologizing for?" And I'm like, I ain't saying that on live show. My wife will kill me.
So you did apologize.
I apologize, yes. I'm waiting for an apology.
Don't wait.
He was trying to wait it out, but it didn't work.
I've received the oh fine, sorry apology, and I'm waiting for the true, deep-hearted, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that apology. That's the one I'm waiting for.
Oh, how long are you gonna hold your breath for?
I don't know. I turned blue multiple times. See, the people in my household know that when you piss me off, you know about it, because I actually can pull that girl thing of not talking to you for 2-3 days straight.
Yeah.
I get mad. I hold a grudge. Anyhow, but family matters. Oh no, not copyright. That's a copyright term. We can't use that. I gotta go license the term now. So back to Fabi, because I know my dad has questions about it. So based on this, they're trying to change our economy. Is it to inform people to how to change our economy, or is it more around what they're trying to do at the government level?
It's pretty much all of the above. They're basically claiming that we already have everything to transform world economies, and now we're just going to put all that into place. And so they're just informing everyone that it's already here.
If our federal government tries to get involved in the economy, they're going to mess it up. I mean, they already started.
I love this.
Yeah, well, I'm serious. They already started a trade war with China. I mean, we're already in a trade war now. I mean, it's not like it's really helping our economy any. And now they're talking, with the whole Facebook stuff. Now they're like, oh well, we want to pass more privacy laws online. I'm like, great. So you're going to basically tell businesses that they can't collect any data on any consumer anymore on the internet, and we're going to use this as a marketing vehicle. Well, that's going to be a next .com crash.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
I mean, this is
the
idiots that we have running our place, man.
My question about Facebook, and I always come back to, is where are the people from Cambridge Analytica? Why aren't they in front of the government?
Well, my question is this: if everybody's up in arms about, well, I didn't know they had this on me, and I didn't know they had this on me. What do you think you did on Facebook?
No
Yeah.
doubt.
I mean, come on, people. If you join Facebook and you're doing stuff on Facebook and you don't think they're collecting the data, I mean, seriously?
Well,
I mean, who actually believes that crap?
well, the one person that when I did a video on my personal channel, I talked. The person said I owed him money. It was a prank, I guess. I never owed the guy any money. Never heard of the guy. And his daughter was in the thumbnail on the video. When I did my video, I screen captured his channel page of YouTube, and his daughter happened to be in the thumbnail. And we went to war on that, and all up to YouTube, and YouTube had to decide yes or no. And I told YouTube, I said, that photo of his daughter is public information. He took that information, he took the photo, he made the thumbnail or whatever it was, and he made it public. If he doesn't want it public, make it private. If he doesn't want it at all on the internet, then take that video down. It's one or the other. But as it stands, the videos are still there. His channel's still open, and YouTube voted in my favor. They said, yeah, it's public information. I didn't release any information that was not publicly available to anybody else out there. But that's when people go on Facebook. They're like, oh, well, this is my Facebook. This is my little realm. I'm in my little cubicle here.
No, you're on a public place.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
This is how I describe the internet to people that ask me about it. Especially when I start talking about cybersecurity, I tell people all the time: if you wouldn't put it on a billboard, don't put it on the internet.
That's right.
Because that's how public everything online is. If it's pretty much like putting it on a billboard.
It is.
So
It is. And I like with Mardox, I tell people, and we've got a lot of smart people saying, should I post this? Should I not post this? They're not sure. And
wouldn't post it on a billboard.
but I tell them for a Mardox one, again, yeah, if you wouldn't want your family to know about it, don't post it there, because everybody at Mardox will know about it. And you got a lot of people going, well, I'm part of this MLM. I don't know if I should promote it or not.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts, though, about targeting Facebook versus why are they not targeting Google, YouTube, and the list
Oh,
goes
yeah,
on?
because YouTube does it a lot more than Facebook does, that's for sure.
Mhm.
It's
here's the thing: everybody's complaining about Facebook, and yet Google has more information than Facebook ever will.
I gotta blow
No one's even and no one's arguing about that. They're like, it's Google. Who cares?
I think they concentrate. On the folks that get caught doing stuff wrong. They don't tend to worry about issues like that until things go wrong. Then
It went seriously wrong a long time ago.
they attack the entity that was caught in the act, and it kind of explodes from there. And instead of putting something into place that constantly monitors this kind of thing to make sure that all of these entities who do this type of thing are playing by moralistic rules and stuff.
Well, hold on now. Facebook didn't break any rules. Just keep that in mind here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when something goes wrong, okay, when something goes wrong,
Yeah.
and it comes, it comes out, and there's always somebody's always looking for a scapegoat. But if that thing didn't go wrong, and they were not looking for a scapegoat, then it would just continue. It would just continue to happen.
I'm having this conversation with my dog. He's going, woof, woof. No, it's he knows better. It's just Mom and Tiffy. They're home. Well, what I'm saying, it's not Facebook's fault, because everything that Facebook that you have access to, that you put public, you have full control over whether you want it private, strictly shared, or public. And Cambridge Analytica and all these other companies, this is why I'm saying Cambridge Analytica should be the one in front of Congress, not Facebook. They're the ones that went in, accessed the API, the application programming interface, and said, okay, I'm going to harvest all this information. Now, they didn't go and harvest the information that was not public. They harvested the information they had access to. They didn't break any guidelines. It's Cambridge Analytica that went ahead and said, now we're going to use it for this purpose. I don't blame them. They're data analysis. They're a huge think tank, but they should be the ones being looked at, not Facebook. Because what's next? Mardocs? You know?
I agree.
Of course, Mardocs. No shit.
That's it. We got a social feed now. That makes me worried. To the point that I want to put a blurb up tonight saying anything you post here is public information. You know, and make sure they understand it. You know, this is public. You posted it here, it's public. You know.
Yeah.
You can go see.
That is a good reminder because some people don't think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They think that it's. I mean,
and people that are complaining about this, I'm like, dude. I mean, you even know already that they're already looking at your stuff for job interviews and things like this, but yet they pretend like this doesn't happen. Come on, people. Stop acting like idiots. We already know that stuff exists.
Well, those senators. Some of those senators reminded me of the one that what's his name? That the one with the series of tubes and the internet's a big. The internet's a big series of tubes, and you can't back up like a dump truck load of email and just dump it on the series of tubes. You plug up all the tubes. He had no idea what email delivery was, and he was trying to explain. Like an intern came in, an 18, 19-year-old intern came in and said, "Sir, okay, real quick. The internet's like a series of pipelines. You got water flows through." And then he took that, probably went, okay, if you back up with a dump truck of email and dump it in the tube, it's going to clog up. And it's going to... They sent me the internet. I just got it today. These are the words he was saying. We can go back and get the actual video. This is a senator, a United States senator that said it. The ones that I watched on the live stream with Facebook.
Are you surprised? I mean, here's the thing with America: we go to the voting booth and we vote. We sit there and have one question when we go to the voting booth: who is the dumbest person alive? And then we put them
in power.
For some reason,
then it's wrong.
Every time.
Then it's wrong because I should be there.
You said that.
Yeah, I feel so dumb today.
Today?
But going back to what I was saying, the senators on that live stream I was watching yesterday. Yes, I actually woke up and watched a little bit from my bed, watching my TV, and some of those senators had no clue. So you're telling me I can go in? Sorry. So you're telling me you're going to make it so I can go in and change my settings, sir? You already have that power. Okay, so you're telling me you're going to make it so I can go in and get all my data and go to another platform and export my information? And you see Mark, what's his last name? I was going to say Heisenberg. Heisenberg. Zuckerberg, you can see his face like, what the fuck, man? You can already do that, Dogecoin. You can already do that. And then his facial expression was almost like, but why would you want to? It was hilarious. But this United States senator had no clue what he was talking about. Not a clue. Now, I want to go watch the next. There's
a ton of funny videos where they take clips from.
No, but I watched the actual thing. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious from end to end.
Yeah, they have a compilation. There's different compilation videos already out there.
Yeah.
With these congressmen and women asking him.
The women too.
Insane questions.
Most women have more intelligence than men. And you would think a woman shows up after the male. You would think she would modify her little pad of paper. Okay, ask that question. Already asked that one. Oh, wait, I'm not smart enough, even though I'm female, because we all know women are more intelligent than males. You guys hearing this, right? I should get brownie points. So...
What kind of brownies you cooking over there, man?
Has a special powdered green leaf stuff that we put into it. Yeah. If you got a cold, it's called a But those women Congress people ask the same questions as the idiotic men senators.
I think that's because here, when unfortunately, the reason we have so many dumb people in office is they all go to law school. And when they come out, if they can't pass the bar exam, they become politicians.
Yeah, there you go.
And so the dumbest lawyers become politicians in our country. And unfortunately, when they go to law school, they're taught, hey, you just get an assistant that knows how to use a computer. You don't have to know how to use one, so you're fine. So they hire somebody else that knows how to use a computer, and they don't know what the hell a computer is.
Yeah, get somebody else.
I'm surprised some of these people could turn one on without blowing it up.
Get somebody else to download the internet for you in the morning before you start up your coffee maker. Just make
I'm sure that's what some of them think. I'm sure some of them turned the coffee maker on and said, "How come my computer's not working?"
Yeah, just make sure that the interwebs don't get stuck in a series of tubes.
Yeah,
my wife's
man.
gonna hear this. She's gonna go, "Shut up!" She hates it when I say that, but she doesn't realize I'm saying it for a reason here. I'm allowed. It's like swearing for a reason. I can hear the teeth grinding upstairs.
So I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we got going on now. It's stupid because the stuff at Facebook. Look, if you don't want a Facebook account, close it. I don't like the fact that Facebook does harvest or collect information on people who don't already have an account. The shadow accounts, they call them. Shadow profiles. So if I've never been on Facebook and John or Fabi go out and they say, yeah, I'm friends, or I'm just going to upload my contact list and Nelson Buck happens to be in there, it creates a shadow profile. And then they start collecting information on who Nelson Buck is. Because John might say, okay, I went to school in 1980, and some of my classmates were Nelson Buck, people that I remembered, Oh, so Nelson went to school with John. Now it goes into my shadow profile. That's not accessible to me, but they do use that. You see, and that's the part I don't like. That'd be like me as a member going out and saying, hey, John, give me your contact list. Anybody who signs up underneath you signs up, but I'm going to continue collecting information on everybody else that didn't sign up underneath you. But now LinkedIn does that, Tumblr does it, Pinterest does it, YouTube does not do it anymore. You can't refer people to contact lists anymore. It's more like go send to your videos. So a lot of the big networks do that. Fabi,
Not cool.
Fabi, what happened to your background? You had a nice plain wall before. What, the kids playing just on the other side now, or what? You didn't make your bed. You didn't make your bed, young lady. So you hung up a sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You really? For real? Oh my
Correct.
God, I know you so well. Oh, geez. South Dakota, you said, huh?
It's still snowing over here.
Oh,
Really?
we got snow coming. What do you think?
Yeah, how did that work out, Nelson? Did it snow yet?
It's going to be snowing. I
Okay.
don't know.
But
I think I'm right. I think I'm right. Hey, Dad, what do you think? It's going to be snow or it's going to be slush?
It's going to be hell.
It's going to be hell. Your snowbird won't go through it, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it will
Oh,
if
no.
I'm behind it.
If you're behind it.
Fabi, does that blanket represent anything?
It's a star quilt, yeah. And
Pardon me?
it's very traditional of the Lakota culture.
Oh, okay.
It's called a star quilt.
He's asking before he makes jokes.
No, you're the one that brightened up my day the most today. When I saw those colors and that, wow,
When I looked at
it's a
you,
good background.
when I looked at you, Dad, I said 47, almost 48 years ago, you brought me into this world, and now I got a bad cold. Thanks a lot, Dad.
Yeah, anytime. Now, you use that blanket as a background, Fabi. We can use it as foreground for Nelson.
Yeah, just
Okay. Right in front.
I can put up my green screen right here. You guys would just see green.
Green screen, blue screen.
Well, I don't have blue.
Green that is,
I'd have to go spend money for blue.
Did you make that blanket, Fabi?
No,
Okay.
I did not. I have never made one before. They do quilting classes all the time. And
Oh, you got to get
Okay.
started. My grandmother used to do quilting, and she was
Cool.
a master at it. I still have the quilts that she left my dad. I now have them put away somewhere safe somewhere. But yeah, she did. Grandma did quilting, right? Or was it crochet?
Hey,
She did crocheting. Now I know you can hear me, and I know I'm getting brownie points. So
Bobby, do your daughters know how to do quilting yet?
they don't. And that's a good reminder that we need to get into some of those classes. It's been on the to-do list and just haven't had an opportunity. I've been so busy, but that's no excuse.
it's not that hard to do,
Yeah.
I don't think. You just need patience, right?
Yeah, it's more so kind of a tedious type of work where, yeah, you have to really be diligent and patient
Yeah.
sitting there.
Because I did crochet. Correct. I did crochet a little bit, but I was too young when I got into it. I got bored of it real quick, and I went on to other stuff. The tree outside was more fun to climb. And
I know that's kind of why I've Yeah, that's
But
same
I,
here.
but I've got a problem. I've got a I don't have an example here. If you put down a ball of rope or a string and it's in a knot, I have this compulsion that keep looking at it and I have to untangle it.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there for
What about Christmas lights?
not really Christmas lights, but more like rope and string. Yeah, I'll do the Christmas lights. But or extension cord. There's an extension cord under my desk and it's all knotted up. It will bug the hell out of me until I take it apart and roll it up nice and put it back. But yeah, one guy kept doing it. I had this pink cord I kept trying to unknot, and every day he would walk in and roll it together and go like this and put it back on my desk. And I'd walk in and going, oh yeah, I should take that apart, huh? And every day for a week they watched this going, how long until you're going to realize we just keep knotting it up? I'm going, you got to be kidding me. I was wondering why it was taking so long to unknot this thing, you know? But I get this overwhelming, you know, I gotta do this, and there's no need to do it. It's like a vampire where you drop, was it paper clips or what is it you drop and they gotta stop and count them? Werewolves, something like that. There's one of those, you know, anti-Semitic creatures. You drop something in their way and they gotta stop and count them or something. Huh? Which creature is it when you do that? You drop something, they gotta stop and count them. I can't. I think it's vampires. Zombies? No, not zombies. Zombies, you just take off their headshot every time.
I never knew this about you, Nelson.
What? I like anti-Semitic creatures?
So the type A personality.
Oh yeah. Big time. Mainly because a lot of it was not there before juvie, but after I went to juvie, there was so set ingrained the routine I had to go through. You had to do your bed. It had to be no creases. Your shoes had to be in a certain position, a certain way. Otherwise, you lost scores. If you got enough score, you got privileges. So I did everything I could to get those privileges. But it got to a point where I was always 99, 100 on the score at the end of the week. So I was like, okay, now we have to add more stuff in, you know. And that's the same place where I became a germaphobe. It's the same, the very same place. That's where it started. It was there, and I don't know if it's because we had to keep it clean, or is by shaking hands I caught a bacteria for somebody from just touching hands. And there's a reason why you can't touch anybody. No high fives, no shaking hands, no physical contact. It's to prevent the transfer of any diseases in such an enclosed area. And since then, I'm forever washing my hands. I can like, my daughter has thrown up and I picked it up. It's not it's not that. But once I'm done, I have to go wash my hands. Not because it's dirty, but I get this, like, I can feel like creepy crawlies walking on me, you know? And they're not there. It's psychological, you know? If I shake somebody's hand, I have to go wash my hand. Because of that ingrained thing that you're not allowed to shake anyone's hand or high five in there. So with me today, no touching hands. It's like, no, don't touch my hands. Because if I'm at a convention and for 2 hours, if I can't wash my hand, it's in my pocket. I can't. It's there. I have to go wash my hand. It's agonizing. It's all psychological.
Wow. That's deep.
But don't put any balls and knots on desks for me. Please don't do that.
I look at knots like that as a challenge because I'm the one, like in the house, when somebody can't get a knot untied, they bring it to me. You know?
Yeah. And is it because you look at the knot and you can actually, do you visualize the knot and understanding how it works?
Yeah, exactly. You look at it, and you see how you're going to approach it. You see, you know. And say, okay, I need to pull on this part first because if I pull on this part first,
And that's a very rare trait. My dad has that kind of capabilities, and I know that because he does a lot of he repairs electronics. So it's like, okay, very analytical. Point A to point B, and the problem's in between. How do we find out where the problem is? You know, so he's very good at that. Even me, when I was a kid, brought it to my dad here to fix it. But I noticed my kids, even like, you know, Tiffany, who's like in her 20s now, she'll take a knot and she'll fight at it, you know, with her nails. And it's like, until she slows down and actually looks at it, oh, I got to go this way. But they figure just by pulling on it, and what they're doing is actually tightening it. But I'll sit there.
Make it worse.
Yeah, I'll sit there and I'll look at it and go, okay, that part comes out. And I don't actually see the lines, but I can mentally see the knot in my head, you know?
Wow. It's like a mental map.
Yeah, that's it. And it goes really well. Okay, here you go, done, you know? But if you go the wrong way, you're tightening it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it, you know? But Dad, have you always been very good at fixing stuff since you were a kid, or did that come along with age?
No, but I'm thinking that all those years at school did something right.
What'd you do?
You going to school,
Oh yeah.
we did something right.
Did something right. No, but seriously, as a kid yourself, were you the one that would fix stuff, or did that come along later on?
No, I've been repairing radios and stuff since I'm 8 years old.
That's right. Yeah. So you grasped onto that concept of point A, point B. Let's fix where the problem is, right?
I don't know about A and B, but the problem is there. All you need is a solution.
Yeah, that's right. and I was right.
Except for John. I don't know.
Except for John. We don't know about John. Oh,
Not Josh. John.
John, yeah, John. Oh, we know about Josh. Josh is the in-house troll. He's fine.
Josh, there's no cure. He's American.
Josh is an in-house troll. He's set for life. He's got his he's going to be paid for life.
Fabi, are you American?
Yes.
Okay, you're not like Josh, by the way. Okay.
It's funny. You say you're okay, but are you American, like Native American, or do you see yourself as American?
American, to be honest. I'm an American citizen. I'm also an enrolled tribal member.
Okay.
But we as an enrolled tribal member, we see ourselves as part of the United States.
Okay. Because like me, people here in Quebec will say, "Oh, so you're Quebecois or you're a Quebecer," and I say, "No, I'm Canadian. I happen to be born in Quebec, but Quebec's still part of Canada." But there's a lot of people here in Quebec that oh, this is our little nation. No, it isn't. It's a part of the rest of it. You'll get that in Alberta too. They'll say, "I'm not Canadian. I'm Albertan." And I've heard that too, and it's like, no, you're Canadian.
Interesting.
Fabi, do you miss the buffaloes?
Yes.
That culture?
Do you still have
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to be in, I would love to be more submersed in it every day. But of course, the times have changed nowadays, too.
Yeah.
So
You got virtual buffaloes now.
Is it true that the reservations are feeling that they're losing their heritage or becoming more American?
yeah, there's both sides to the coin on that one. So
Yeah.
a little bit of yes on one end of the spectrum, but also a little bit of no on the other end of the spectrum. There's some really cool stuff happening in a lot of Native communities across the United States where they're able to retain the language, the culture,
That's cool.
all sorts of aspects of living. It's really cool.
That's it. No,
What about in school? Are they allowed to teach culture or even language in school?
Yeah, a lot of that's changing now. So they're getting to learn Native American history as well as the language.
Yeah, but the full content or just what the government says you may teach?
oh, that's better.
Kind of a mix of both, but it's still adapting into
Yeah.
its full form still. But
Your daughters, are you trying to get them more into the Native culture, or are they literally been born into the American culture? And
yeah, it's been a mix. I mean, even my own experience too has been a mix of the two heritages that predominate in my own culture. My own heritage is Italian and Native American.
Italian.
And
Italian?
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't see that coming.
Where is that from?
Combination.
Northern Italy by
No,
Rover.
I know my wife's Italian. That's why it surprises
Yeah.
me. You don't seem Italian.
Parle l'italiano? Parle l'italiano?
Sì, che te dita. Me non sai ti dita mi.
Is your wife first generation or second generation?
Pure.
When did
She's pure.
straight from Italy?
Yes.
Yeah, nothing but the best for me.
They hogtied her, put her on a boat, and brought her here.
No,
Wow.
she's born in Toronto.
She's,
No, yeah, in Toronto, yeah.
she's
But she's a pure Italian.
somebody.
Boy, I know that rolling pin.
Somebody came on and left.
It was Josh.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's me.
yeah. Josh, stay off the show.
We missed you, Josh.
Stay off the show, Josh.
Yeah. No, I was having some contributor trouble for some.
I tell people I was raised Italian because there's so much culture that when you go to my mom's place on her side with the uncles and the aunts, it's so Italian, marble floors, and spaghetti would be good.
Oh, so he's already in trouble, and now he's trying to dig the hole deeper. I see.
I'm not in trouble. I
So
They're not
Keith
talking
not
to
here,
you, right?
Nelson.
I have a paper. I don't know what it means, but it says I've been vetoed. I guess it means it's good, right?
Usually not.
No. But no, but I do like the fact that I was raised with the Italian culture behind the scenes, and I don't know if being I was what 7.5, 8 years old, Dad, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of the okay, I'm always Canadian, but I mean it's nice to have that culture behind the scenes, And it took how long until I started saying that she's my mom and not Vina, because my dad's wife is my stepmother. And it's taken me till about the age of 20 to actually start calling her mom. Around there. So
Yeah. At that age, they need favors.
yeah, that's it. Hey, mom. Oh Jesus. How many of you guys go into a restaurant? Here's a side shoot because I just noticed something that's really bugging me. How many of you guys go into a restaurant and you have to place the placemat and place the forks and knives perfectly straight? Josh would say that's OCD.
Is that what you do, Nelson?
Well, I keep moving my head and I'm seeing this line on the green paper and it keeps bugging me. I keep seeing it and disappearing, and it's bugging me. And it's part of that OCD part coming out right now. Like I want to go do something about it. It was taped down until somebody went and moved it. No, how many of you guys have that where you place something and then it's everything's got to be perfectly straight? I do it. Bugs my wife. Go to a restaurant. We'll be talking. I'm forever placing the placemat.
Yeah, it's kind of like when your wife cleans up and you're like, crap, now where is it at? You're like, but there was a pile of crap in there. I said, yeah, but I knew where everything was in the pile.
That I've got. And I wish I could show you guys the front of my desk. I have no drawers on my desk. There's no drawers. Because I like it that way because drawers for me are just bins that collect stuff. I got I don't know if I can show you guys this. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let's see if we can pull a Hollywood style. There goes everything. I don't know if you guys can see this. There you go. There's my desk area, and what I've got are these pull-out surfaces where I can put my stuff on. But there's nowhere for me to put like junk in.
Keyboard trees.
Yeah, that's right. I just put two. Oh, I put two trays in. This one's blocked right now because my other table over here. But
that's actually interesting. How many people have keyboard trays that they don't use for their keyboards?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't use mine for keyboards either.
I originally installed those because I did have to pull one out to get to a keyboard for another machine, and the side one was.
I actually use mine for textbooks.
For textbooks,
that's where I put my textbooks for school. I put them in my keyboard trays.
There you go. But I like that because I don't get all the clutter, and I know exactly where everything is. I get pissed off when I can't find something, and you know how it goes, right? You have to accuse somebody of moving it or taking it before you find it, then you're stuck going, oh my God. Yeah, and it's written in the book of Jehovah. It's written in the book because John put it in there. Back at the time of the disciples, he put it in there. It's in John.
You have to accuse somebody? Why?
How many times have I done that, Dad, as a kid? I think somebody stole it. And sure enough, I find it right after, and then I got to go apologize to that person. I'm sorry. It's happened. I know it happened. My daughters would...
Just the thought of it, I feel bad.
Say it again.
About.
Say it again.
I don't even like thinking it.
Moving something.
Yeah, that's it. My daughters would move something or lose something. They're a mess. Tiffany's getting a lot better with her messes. I gotta give her credit. She is getting a lot better with organizing her stuff. Number one. But Sandra, when you go to her place, last time I was there, it was a mess. But hey, college students, right? And I haven't been back since. Which I come to think I should go do that tonight. Just show up. Hi. But Sandra would get really ticked off at me. She goes, "I've looked everywhere." I said, well, "Obviously you didn't look everywhere because the one place you didn't look is exactly where it is right now." And then, of course, what I said made perfect sense. And for her, she'd just get more pissed off.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I always tell my wife to look again. I look there, look again.
Yep.
I look again. She doesn't like that very much, right there.
It's insanity, isn't it? Definition of insanity.
I lost a screwdriver. I lost a screwdriver about 2 years ago when I had my desk over on this side here. I lost that. I can't find it. Really nice one. It's a really long, slender star. It's good to get into computers and get those little screws out. I couldn't find it. My floor here doesn't meet right up to the concrete. There's a space where it meets up to concrete walls. I'm leaving everything separate away from the concrete. And it had fallen parallel in that gap where the 2x4 is and where the concrete wall is. It was just there. And it's like, of course I wasn't going to find it. It's until I tore everything out and moved my desk over to here and cleaned out that whole corner, with the broom, and cleaned everything out, get rid of all the cobwebs and all the dust. And sure enough, there it is. 2 years later, I found it. It's amazing.
What else is missing, Nelson?
2 kids.
2 kids.
Yeah, we haven't found them yet.
Yeah, but there's no evidence of that, Dad. They didn't do DNA tests. I don't know how many. I am worried. Knowing that my youngest daughter's over 18, I'm pretty much safe now because before my wife, there was some relationships. I don't know how many kids there could be out there right now.
You're watching.
With this face going on, I hope not. Look, Mommy, that's my daddy.
No, that's John Nelson. They call him Daddy.
Oh, jeez. I can just say, look, that's my daddy. Yeah, okay, you're 32 years old. Give it up. Okay.
That sounds like Urkel.
I got mail. Elmo.
Elmo. Yeah, okay.
I did one of my very first live streams that I did that whole Elmo voice got on. Someone said, do Elmo. And I do Elmo. And throughout the whole game, I'm like, I've got mail. And I must have attracted about 100, 150 people on that stream, and people were just making fun of that whole voice thing going on. It was ridiculous. Oh, geez. I don't know how many times I was called the R word over and over again, but it just maybe kept going.
Does Sesame Street still show? Does still air?
That's against. We can't say that anymore. That's against the law.
After a while, you get too old to watch it. So
Yeah, we can't say that anymore. That's against the law now because you got 2 guys sleeping in the same bed, Bert and Ernie. You've got a garbage monster in a garbage can, Big Bird who lives in a shack outside.
Although now they're trying to include the autistic people, so they actually created an autistic character now too.
Really?
Mhm.
Is this?
Yeah, they really did.
Is it really
They
still?
really did.
Is it really still going?
It is, and they actually did curate an autistic character because they felt that they needed to be included.
I thought the whole series was great. And as a kid, I wanted to know how they did that. And I mean, like a kid, like 5, 6 years old, is how do those? I knew they were puppets, but how did they make him do that? And I would have loved it. I would have
Drugs, dude, tons and tons of drugs.
Yeah, but I would have loved.
You have enough acid, all those creatures come to life.
Well, Big Bird and Snuffleupagus were 3 actors, but the rest of them, most of the individuals in Cookie Monster and all that, were one person doing all those voices.
Mm-hmm.
That there wasn't as big a crew as you would think. Bert and Ernie was a person going along with. If you notice, it's only Bert's right hand and Ernie's left hand kind of thing at one time. Very rarely do you have 2 sets of hands going. So it's one person going along, and the puppets are joined together at the bottom.
I thought Bert and Ernie were gay.
I found it strange at 5, 6 years old. I found it strange that why are they sleeping in the same bed? And I thought, well, how poor can they be?
And today we know the truth.
Yeah.
Fabi, you're going to have to get one of your tribes in there now.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Culture.
Do we have a tribal figure in Sesame Street?
They started translating some of the PBS shows into Lakota, and they only air them like in South Dakota and other areas with high native populations.
No, but Fabi, is there a character that represents you there now?
No, you gotta get that going.
Great point.
Yeah.
All right, we will do that.
You have to create a lawsuit.
Yes. Right?
If you're
This is America, man. We sue everybody for everything.
just don't go along the same path as the Canadians in Toronto. Don't say you have to put a character in, or else you have to stop translating, because they'll just say, stop translating.
Well, Nelson, I saw something funny this morning on the news in Toronto. The lady became a cop, okay, but she refuses to remove her veil. So how is that going to work if she doesn't want to remove her veil?
Oh, no, that's a big problem, because the law says that you're allowed to see the person who's arresting you or questioning you. You're a cop. You're allowed to face your accuser.
No, but she has went through the course and she's now
Yeah.
officially a police officer.
Yeah.
But now she refuses. Like if I'm stopped by the road and this thing comes out with a veil, I'm out here.
You don't have. From what I know, you don't have to obey anything. She'll have to bring the supervisor in.
No, I'm out of here.
No, I wouldn't. If they got the flashing lights, I wouldn't say get out of there. But unless the person's putting a gun at you and threatening you. But
To me, if there's flashing lights, whatever, a thing comes out of a car, comes to me, I'm out of here because that could be a fake car back there. I don't know that.
Yeah, if that's the case, drive for a police station. You're going to get arrested after you pull you over, anyways. But you are. I have had a situation where a plainclothes officer pulled me over, and he had flashing lights on the minivan, and I said, I want to talk to your supervisor. And I wasn't sure who the guy was because, like you said, I kept the windows rolled up. The supervisor showed up 2-3 minutes later, and then they said, "Can I have your driver's license?" The whole thing. Then I obeyed. Law in Canada is a plainclothes officer doesn't have the same authority to have you do stuff as a uniform officer. They have to identify themselves. And I was driving with a trailer and I had my cell phone in my hand. I was talking like blah 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 blah. And I got pulled over, but it was a van. The guy came up beside me, honked, and he goes like this. I pulled over. I thought there was something wrong with the trailer. And when he was behind me, I could see the lights flashing in the window in the front. But that doesn't mean that's a real cop. Anybody can take blue and red lights and put them on the front of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, next I think it's going to be a Jehovah's Witness trying to convert us on the side of the road.
Oh, shit. John, did you? Oh man, I was gonna do that.
I think you do it, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna get together and do that.
Speaking of which, and in connecting that with the with Fabi's culture, we have had people on certain reservations and stuff. I think translate our publications up into the local languages and everything.
Into Dakota, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Germany?
No.
Huh?
Reservations in Germany?
No.
No, in the States.
Oh, phew, you scared me.
We're all over the place, dude. So we're also involved.
I had a conversation today with a person that got on and he's Mormon. He says, you got to come to our church, and I'm part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I say, why do you say that? He goes, what do you mean? He says, why don't you just say you're Mormon instead of saying I'm part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Just say you're Mormon, And I said, and he goes, well, what faith are you of? And I turned around and said, well, soon to be Jehovah's Witness. The conversation ended soon after that. He had nothing else left to say.
Isn't it amazing how quick that can end the conversation?
It was in the Zoom room, and I thought he wanted tech support, and he actually conned me into getting on Zoom for a tech problem, logged in, and then he's talking to me about the Mormon Bible. The Mormon scripture. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Soon to be Jehovah's Witness now. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Fabi, Lakota, do they have a religion of sort, or?
Yeah, it's part of the culture. It's not
your own religion.
Well, it's not like a separate, like has a name and has like a church, and it's not like the traditional what you would consider typical, organized religion and stuff. It's there's a spirituality that's connected and rooted deeply with
just intertwined into the culture, basically.
What's it called again? You told me what it was called.
For what?
What you guys have in the reservations for religion. What you believe in.
This was different. This was a different conversation that we had, and this was through Agape, which is another word for unconditional love, and it's an organization that I'm drawing a loss for words. Recognizes organization that recognizes all of the religions and all of the different ways to have spirituality and have a connection to something greater than just what we believe is on the surface, and so that's Agape. That means unconditional love. You look it up. It's pretty cool.
We talk about that in our faith a lot, agape love, because that's the type of love that Jehovah has for us, and the type that we need to develop. First time I heard it outside of our church.
In Jehovah's Witness, you guys actually say agape love?
Yeah, it's mentioned, yes.
It is? Oh, neat.
It's a biblical principle, yes.
Okay, no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
It's the highest form of love that there is, basically. That's, yeah. And you know what was interesting when I was studying years ago to become a witness, and I had our New World Translation and my the King James Version. So I used to compare them all the time, and I noticed that I kept seeing in the New World Translation um, God's unconditional love, right? And I didn't ever remember seeing that in the King James Version. So I,
Keep going,
right?
keep going.
And in the King James Version, what'd you say?
No, keep going.
And then
I thought you stopped because of me. Sorry about that.
and in the King James Version, they say grace, God's grace, the grace of God. And that is the exact the definition of grace is God's unconditional love, you see. Now, if you ask a lot of people who claim to be Christian what grace is, they often have a difficult time explaining it, you see. And the definition of grace is God's unconditional love, and that gives you, when you say unconditional love, that gives you a better idea of what that's all about, you see.
Me,
But then there's,
me,
but then there's some controversies in that too, though. I mean,
Why?
love, because they say, well, if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell, no matter what good you did in life.
See, that's where you have to. That's where you have to. That's
Really?
where you have to be careful. That's where you have to be careful, Josh, because there are so many different denominations in Christendom and everything, and
But almost everyone believes that.
Christianity has gotten a whole lot away from where it was supposed to be, and
I know,
so
but all of them believe that if you don't believe in
no,
Jesus Christ as your
it's not
Savior,
true.
then you're basically doing the
that's
same
not
to hell.
true.
No, that's not. No, that I can vouch. I can vouch for John on that one. It's not true, based on what I've studied so far. It's they're not all like that. There's a lot of them that believe that. Like
Yeah,
certain
sure, of
person,
course.
I was told flat
Sure.
out, if I don't believe in Jesus Christ, I'm going to hell, and that's what
Yeah,
that's what pushed me away from following that line of study.
But
yeah,
yeah,
and
there's
it will push you away,
oh,
and it's
wow,
no
they're that
surprise.
Okay, guys, don't talk over it. John's connection is already crappy as it is. Mr. James Dawson, the one and only Mr. James Dawson, wrote, if she pulled me over, my response would have been, oh, don't tell me, Catwoman. The one with the veil. In response to the police being pulled over. We got to watch the comments, people. There was people commenting.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, there you go. Let's not go too religious, because otherwise we lose everybody. There's a lot of people in here who are.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is
they're not of the our faith, and I don't want people
Some
thinking they
people
have to be
don't
Christian to come in,
Especially when John starts, there's no ending.
Yeah, John. You see what John is doing. I understand what John is doing, and
He's converting the internet.
no. He's practicing at doing the preaching in front of the entire congregation when the time comes. He's practicing here on 42.
At Mardox.com.
You see, it comes naturally. So
Now, here's a question for the whole hijab thing and the police department thing. I thought in the RMs, I thought for the Muslim religion, they believed that they weren't supposed to have any authority anyways.
say again. What's that?
I mean, most of the women in Muslim religions are,
So
they don't believe they should have any authority. So that's kind of weird that they would want to be a police officer.
Yeah, but I didn't say she was Muslim.
Well, if they're wearing hijab, they're Muslim.
There's a different religious sects there that you have to consider.
Yeah, there's two or three religions where they have a veil. So it's not necessarily Muslim, but also.
Well, I'm seeing hijab on here, and it says RCMP.
Yeah, but
and so hijab means Muslim, and that's what it says on here. Actually, specifically says Muslim.
Yeah, but in Canada, the practicing Muslim is not the same as it's in Morocco. It's very loose. It's very loose. Women can drive. Women here can do what they want. It depends on the family. It depends on the husband's upbringing. My dad and I know some Muslims, and where the guy should run the house, the guy's a complete and total pussy. Where she runs the house, she says what goes. And it's totally contradictory to what actually happens in, say, Morocco or Egypt or Senegal.
Nelson, there's also a member of the RCMP just recently. He's a man, and he thought that instead of wearing the hat, the RCMP hat, he could wear his scarf, whatever, turban. And he won.
Oh,
He's allowed to wear his
Those are
turban.
Sikhs. Yeah, those are the Sikhs. That's totally different.
Yeah, and he's not allowed to wear it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he is.
He won.
Oh, he won. Okay,
Yes.
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah,
I
that's
just,
the Sikhs.
if I
That's the
get,
Indian Sikhs. That's totally different religion. I know those guys. We
Yeah.
have the same ones here.
yeah, but if I get pulled over, I don't
They're
care.
really peaceful people.
Yeah, I don't care if you got a towel around your head, but if you're hiding your face, I got a problem with that too. You know, it depends on the veil too. Is it a very fine veil, or is it like completely you can't see nothing? You know, and then if you're going that far in your culture, then like you know, we said as Muslim, you shouldn't be a police officer. It doesn't correspond with the way your practice is of your religion. You know.
And
Abby,
also,
you have a police on the reservation?
Yes.
What if he shows up and he's got 2 paint bars on his cheeks here? Do we stay or run?
Well, for you, you probably would want to run.
Depends
I'm
on where
just
the arrows
teasing.
pointed.
For me,
Just
we would just
sorry.
take it.
But be honest with you, I would hate to be shot with an arrow. I've seen the damage those things do, the arrow tips compared to a bullet. It goes in a lot slower and it twists a lot more than a bullet does.
Yeah,
Well,
but by
one
the
thing,
time you
The one thing you got to remember is most reservations are dry,
Mhm.
and so that's the
Yeah.
one thing. That's one major difference on reservations.
Yeah, that's true. Here in Alberta, we got a lot. Canada. When I
You
was
don't have a dry place in the place. You kidding me?
but Canada, the reservations are dry, but all the alcoholic natives are living in the cities. They're not on the reservation. They can't get on the reservation if they're drunk.
Yep.
Are you serious? There's drunk alcoholics in the reservations here?
Oh yeah.
My wife's saying, "Oh yeah." You got to get on the show and tell us your experience, because my wife used to be a part of one of the. Will work on one of the reservations for the police department. But so yeah, you got to get on the show and talk to you.
the first time I remember consciously ever meeting Native Americans was when I joined the army, and it was interesting because I started meeting people from all over the world, you know, and it was an interesting kind of cultural experience, you know.
was his name Tonto?
Oh, damn, Jesus.
Was that the American military, John?
Yeah.
Neat.
Are there many?
My favorite
Are
one
there
is, I
many?
don't know if you remember that. There was a favorite Indian scene in this. I think it was Naked Gun, where they're all jumping out of the airplane, and there's like Geronimo, Geronimo, and he says me.
Yeah.
But but without making too many native jokes, are the natives, true natives from the reservations, are they allowed to be part of the military, or are they looked down upon?
No, it's
they're
it's an honor,
definitely-
and there's a
it's
high
an-
percentage of Native Americans.
There's
with-
a lot of them.
In fact, I actually do work with the Oneida Reservation here, and they have a veterans memorial on the reservation. They're heavily involved.
Oh, you see, I would have thought that it would have been like, it's your country, you're America, you guys go
No,
to war, we're
go
separate.
back and look at World War II with the Navajo Code Talkers.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah. So in other words, you're saying that the natives go to war, but they don't actually hold a gun and shoot up people. They go then do another part of the job.
They do everything.
They do-
Also, the U.S. government was modeled after a tribe's governments.
It was.
So like 3 branches of government. Yeah.
We get so screwed up now.
No, and then afterwards, then the Europeans kind of messed it up, and now we're trying to get it back. But I mean, back into balance. But the model, it was modeled after.
You can tell it's American, right? Okay, sir. The area for your house is cleared. What else do you want to do? See those trees there? Clear that. But that's going to take a lot of work. Doesn't matter. Clear it. If it was a native, we'd be don't leave it there. We're going to bless it and live under it and live with it. Americans, I clear it, strip clear it. What do you mean you can't clear it fast enough? Let's build a machine that will burn diesel, and it will go faster, and stronger.
Yeah. Make money.
Make money.
We must
Oh, that's a
make
good
money.
idea. We can even print the money with the stuff that makes up these trees.
Yes.
That's a terrible thing about the American mentality. They don't often think about the repercussions or the consequences for doing certain things. You know.
Wait, but this was like 300 years ago. The mentality got started. It's just recently that now when you build a house, especially around here, you're not allowed to strip clear for a house anymore. You're supposed to clear to a certain point because trees can't be closer than a certain place to your house in the countrysides. But you're no longer allowed just to strip just for the sake of stripping it down. You have to have a reason for it now. So I
Yeah,
like
because
that.
all these trees and bushes and all this stuff, they're there for a reason, you know.
Yeah, behind my place here, there's the city block. Where my house is a Dogecoin, bumblefuck. My house was built so that Gregoire Street was supposed to be in front of my house. Then they remapped, and Gregoire Street moved over one house away. So my house is turned relative to everybody else. But the house in the corner is fine. He's built to be on Gregoire Street. Gregory, if you want. Where I parked my cars was supposed to be the new street, where it was supposed to go all the way down and turn at the church and connect to go through the woods. So with this street here where I park my cars on, I'm literally parked in the middle of the street. There's no actual street built. But that was supposed to go right through the woods and make 2 city blocks. But the way we have it right now is everyone lives on the outskirts of this forested area. And there's wildlife in there. There's deer, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And I love it. I love waking up in the morning and seeing a small deer walk by or something, or you see deer tracks in the snow. You know, there's wildlife still around, as opposed to cut everything down, you know?
Man.
That's it. I have to get well, why don't you guys do that? I'll bring up a view of overhead view. Go ahead, keep talking. Just do it as I say.
That's what I like about Germany. Like when you live in cities and in a lot of cities, you have these areas where there's like forest or woods and stuff like that, you know, and so it's kind of like a city, but it's not really a city in the sense like others would think of a city. They have cities, they have concrete jungles, sure.
Let's see how up to date oh wow, this is really up to date. There's my red pickup. There's my fence. This is the outside of my house. And it's really recent too. Would have been.
Are you on there?
Huh? It's on the look on the live stream.
You're like waving from the porch or something.
I might. No, there's nobody there. No. But what I wanted to see was the satellite view. How do I get back to the satellite view? No, wrong one. How do I get back out? Using the minus, I presume, eh? How do you get back to satellite view? Anybody know? Bottom left corner. Where do you see this? No, I don't see. I see the compass. I don't know how to get back out of this view. I want to get back to. I want to get back to it.
Nelson, are you on Google Maps?
Yeah, I'm on Google Maps. But I want to go to satellite view.
Listen, at the bottom right, there's 3 little icons. I believe one of them is the satellite.
I don't see. I see plus minus. No, I don't. Look on the stream guide. There's nothing there.
Well, I see it now as you're moving the mouse around. And
yeah, I know, but there's no 3 little buttons. There we go. Okay, that one, and then now we got to go satellite. You said, right? How do you do satellite? You said.
Well, you are on the satellite view.
Yeah, but I want the overlay.
You were on it.
No, I want the overlay to show the grass and the houses. How do you do that? This one here.
Well,
this one here. This is what I want here. Okay, so if you guys look on the screen on the live stream, where the red dot is here is where I live, and all back here is open field. The contractor bought all this open space back here. And then you can take a look and see all this wooded area that's not been cut down. But if we scroll to the side a bit, look how they made the streets. You know, it's pitiful. And I love that here in the block beside me down here, there's another block here. This is all forested area. They never built in here. You see, and I hope you guys can see this. But there's only a few city blocks that did this, and it's the older city blocks, whereas all the new stuff is just built up as a grid. You guys seeing all that?
Now I know where you live, Nelson.
Oh, I'm not. I got no shame. You knock at my door. Go ahead. Whether or not did I just kill everything?
No. Now you know where to drop the arrows at, Fabi.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah.
Come on. Why isn't this working? There we go. Okay, everyone's gonna see my my back end stuff. But yeah, so that's no. If somebody wants to know my address, no problem. All I ask is don't show up uninvited. That's the only thing I ask. But
and if someone breaks in and starts looking for money, I know what you would do. You would start looking with them, wouldn't you?
To what?
If someone broke into your house and started looking for money,
Oh yeah, I'll be the first one to go through the
You-
couch cushions.
Start looking with them.
There's only a problem with telling someone to go look in the couch cushions for money here. There's no couch. Put him in the living room with the lights off and tell him to find it. What he finds, he can keep.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm not worried too. People get all, caught up in worrying about their privacy. Yes, there is a certain type of privacy we have to worry about, but then there's a certain type where we really shouldn't have anything to hide.
Yeah, there's that too. We track a lot of information at Mardox too, and that's getting to be a concern. Like every time you log in, every page you click on, it's all tracked, and it's not tracked to see what you do or what you don't do. Well, yeah, it is in a way. It tells us whether or not you're an active member or if you're just logging in, logging out, just for that 10 cents a day. It tells us a lot of information, but we're not selling that information or giving that information out to anybody. It doesn't determine what ads you see or anything, but we do track information, and it happens everywhere, whether you got cookies on or not. Once you access a website, that website's tracking your information, But if you're so worried about your privacy and people coming to your door, YouTubers is getting bad. I mean, Jake Paul had one where someone broke in and slept on his couch, drunk. So I mean, that's a thing going on. People are just showing up, and I'm just going to walk into your house, or I'm going to take videotape from outside and see what you're doing. Your paparazzi, if you want, the next generation of paparazzi.
Yeah.
That I'm against. That I'm totally against. Granted, if somebody's filming outside my house, at my house, I'm going to walk out and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I just want to know. But I can't stop you as long as you're on the street. You can film my house all you want. It's public domain. I can ask you to stop doing it. I can call the cops. They're probably going to say the same thing. He's filming your house. He's got the right. It's not like it's private property as long as they don't go on the property. But what would you do, Fabi, if someone just showed up at your place and tunk tunk tunk? Hi, I saw you on the internet. Can we talk? Can I come in? It's cold out. What would you do?
To be honest, I'm not afraid of any of that stuff, and I have been in certain situations, and I welcome them and treat them just like another human being.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Huh?
How about you, John? Tuck. Hi. You don't know me, but I watch you on the interwebs through the series of tubes.
Well,
can I come in and talk?
There's this thing in the German culture, right, that you don't necessarily go to people's houses unexpected. So yeah, people don't take kindly to that too much.
Okay, so you would take that you take an offense to that.
Not me personally, not really. No.
You'd invite them in and convert them.
I'm not in the conversion business.
What do you do if they're already Jehovah's Witness? How do you convert them anymore? I mean, do you
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Is there like a JW elite?
No, we're all equal, dude.
Wait, how do the Jehovah's Witnesses go door to door in Germany?
Yeah, we do the same, but
okay.
It's very carefully.
It's more irritating for Germans, you see, as opposed to like in America, you see. But we still do it, of course. And
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, so you still do it, just that they get more slammed in the face, or go away. I was right in the middle of my shower.
It's just Germans are not as open, you see, and it's not very easy to always to talk with Germans about religion and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to establish a relationship with someone before they start to open up a little bit, you see. So it takes more steps.
Right.
Mailman must have a big problem in Germany.
Unless you're a foreigner, then it's different. No, that's
I'm
just
going to
the
deliver
culture.
your mail in 5 minutes, okay? I'm going to deliver your mail in 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah. It's just the culture,
Yeah.
I find it fascinating how the backdrop makes the foreground look different, because like in America, Jehovah's Witnesses have like traditionally been viewed as very conservative. And I studied with Jehovah's Witnesses for a full year. I studied one of the books that they go through. It was years back.
So she's already half converted.
They They gave up on me, to be honest. I
We
might
do
be the
that.
one and only that they've ever given up on. But I mean, we kept going, and I kept inviting them back, and then pretty soon they stopped coming
They
because,
should have kept coming. If you showed interest, they should keep coming.
well, it was because we went through everything. We went through the book, we went through like the next thing and the next thing and next thing, and I kept inviting back, but I still didn't convert, or I still didn't opt in to be part of, officially make it official. And then they just stopped coming. So I think they pretty soon, realized that they maybe that their time is better spent with someone else, or
Sometimes that's a decision, not because they're not interested in you, but it's a thing about if someone wants to progress, more in the direction of becoming one, but it's not really all about that. If a person shows interest in learning, then we teach them. But
yeah,
you come to a point where there is nothing more for you to learn that's basically new.
that's what I think it got to that point. So then they just put it in my hands, and then let me make the decision. And then, but they just stopped coming. I was amazed. Like I literally went through everything weekly. It was every Friday morning. It was wonderful. Made great friendships and learned so much about the history of the Jehovah's Witness religion, also the philosophies and the belief, the beliefs in it. It was fascinating. And I found it fascinating too, because like in America, the culture here views the Jehovah's Witness religion as conservative. Then I went to Northern Italy and I spent time there. And I also got approached by Jehovah's Witnesses in Northern Italy, and it was more so on the street. They didn't come knocking at the door. So I was wondering if maybe they do it differently in different countries, but maybe that was just a coincidence. Like, because we connected on the street, but here's what was fascinating is in Northern Italy, because the culture there is a lot more strict, the Jehovah's Witnesses were viewed as very liberal and radical, and like rule breakers and stuff.
Yeah, you adjust your approach according to the culture of the country. You have to respect that culture and know how you can approach people. You just can't take the same thing and do it in every country. You see.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing as affiliate marketing. You want to replicate. You want to replicate and reproduce what the other person is doing if they're successful. But you got to take it with a grain of salt and be a little bit flexible with your area. What might work in Canada won't work in the States.
Exactly.
That's it. Are you guys looking at the screen right now? On the stream? Selfie taken at the top of the world, Mount Everest. Checkmate, flat earthers. Flat Earth Society. And you see a nice curvature of the earth. And that's a real thing. I actually got contacted by a person, a flat earther, after one of our shows. They said, it is a flat earth and I can prove it. And the person had all this data. And I'm sure that if they looked at this, they would have said, oh, it's because the lens that he's using has a curve to it, fisheye look. Something like that. But it's like, these people are nuts.
And if they claim to be Christian or a reader of the Bible, then you take them to the part of the Bible where it talks about the circle of the earth, And
yeah, but do you think the earth is round but flat? It's a disc, like a plate.
Okay.
That's what they believe. They don't believe it's a sphere. And why not?
Okay.
Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah, you would have to take them up into space and they go, okay, look, it's round. Yeah, but look, it still looks flat. They're idiots.
No, they're not.
My son just came into the room and said, hey.
Yeah, but you can't go.
What?
You cannot go.
I must.
No, you can't.
Because I'm disturbing the peace.
You can't.
Why not?
There's one thing you have to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending the Mardox Daily Live broadcast that comes to you daily, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, and 9 p.m. Berlin time. And yeah, if you're watching us via YouTube, remember to do three very important things and subscribe, like, and comment. Was that slow enough for you, Nelson?
Yeah, I tell you it
On
was.
the
Yeah.
on the video channel.
The meds are kicking in.
And if you are watching us via Twitch, please remember to do one very important thing is to follow us, and another important thing that you can't do now is subscribe.
Yes.
But subscribing involves payment.
Doesn't matter. Just subscribe.
Yeah. So thanks, and please, no matter where you're watching us, comment. Please comment. We want to know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, and we're getting people giving us comments. There's something I just can't talk about, like nasty stuff. The difference in tampons and pants. No, we're not
Just
talking.
good, clean comments.
Yeah, get some good clean ones. Not the bad enough we have Josh. Okay.
No topics that'll make me put this sign up.
Yeah, that's
okay?
right. That's right. Bra sizes and stuff. Which I would like to know how they figure out this letter for a cup. I would like to figure that out one day. It's beyond me. So go ahead and say goodbye, guys, so I can find the button.
Bye.
Have a good one.
See, the button only shows up when they say bye. Where is the button?